Hey guys, welcome back to Mana Down Under. Today, we're going to do my disgusting commander, Marath, Will of the Wild. I know it's a guy, it's got antlers, but I call it a her. It's like a mighty fine vessel. Marath is a very disgusting commander. She is 1 red, 1 green, 1 white, elemental beast, keep that in mind. So it enters with counters equal to what you paid, so that command attacks adds more and more. X, remove X 1/1 counters from Marath to put X counters on target creature, or deal X damage to any target, or make an XX elemental green token. Now all of this is built into the deck. The deck abuses tokens, counters, elemental, and into the battlefield triggers. So the first main creature you'll see is Omnath. Omnath creates 5/5 elementals on landfall, but the secondary, whenever the elemental you control dies, it deals 3 damage to any target. So Marath can pay X is 1 to make a 1/1 elemental. Now if that 1/1 dies, you get the lightning bolt. Things like Skull Clamp. Equip it onto your little dude. He dies, you draw 2 cards, you lightning bolt for 2 mana. Pretty good. Then like God of the Forge. Just pay 1, make a 1/1, deal 2 damage to everyone. But Parallel Lives, Doubling Season, things like that. Suddenly it's pay 1, do 6 damage to everyone, or 8 damage. It adds up pretty quick. Gaia Sage has evolved, kind of use it a little bit, but she just adds green mana for each counter on her. Marath, I target Marath for removal. Move my counters from Marath onto Gaia Sage, then recast Marath with Gaia Sage. Runetail. I don't think many people know this card exists. So if you have 30 or more life, you flip him. When he's flipped, prevent all damage that be dealt to your creatures. So now suddenly you've got an army of tokens that can't be dealt damage. And the thing you'll notice in this deck is it's very enchantment heavy, because that's where a lot of the abuse comes from. Dromoka's just in here as a good creature. The deck did struggle for a long time with flyers, so I added a couple to help myself. But the life link and the flying's nice, but they can't do shit on my turn. That's what's good about it. Rith is pretty good. He can create a lot of 1/1s very quickly. You don't have to pick your color. If the opponent's ahead of you and you get a hit on, you can pick their color, make a lot of green tokens very quickly. And the fact that the green plays into it as well. Rampaging Baloth, same deal. Landfall, create 4/4s. I can make more than 1 per trigger. I have a lot of landfall triggers. You should run all the Praetors in any command deck that you can. They're that good, none of them are bad. The green one's pushing it, it should be banned I think, but I run it anyway. So Vornikox is here, as well as Erebrask. They're all amazing, you have no reason not to run them. The Hydra, I like the counter game again. I can double it, more than double it. I can move counters on to speed it up. I have one game that this has just been left out of check, and it's just killed people. Avacyn, I don't have an issue with triple mana color. I can do it in this deck very easy. The mana base is pretty good, and I can turn all my creatures into Bird's Paradise later on, so I don't really worry too much. Spite Bellows. This is from the original pre-con deck, but because it's elemental, so it ties in well with Omnath. Thragtusk is a beast, quite literally. I love it, makes a token, gains me life, it's a beast. All plays quite well. Avenger of Zendikar, just what the deck needs, creates tokens, you can abuse it with landfall, you can bounce them even. Scavenging Ooze is only in here because I have a hard time with the black decks, and then playing in the graveyard. But again, I can kind of abuse the counter thing a little bit. Utvara Hellkite, I love it, create dragons, more and more the more you attack. Again, I can make more through my enchantments. Aurelia is just dumb. Like, if you can run red-white, you run Aurelia. Double combat is pretty good. Godsire creates a big fat 8/8. It's not too bad. OG Bird's Paradise, love the artwork. Kmetra gets me most of my basic lands out of the deck, but she can get more than basic. She can get anything with the correct land type. So she gets nearly 2/3 of my lands out just on her own. Regal Force, he's an elemental, which plays with Omnath, and he checks for green creatures on entry to draw a card. Now Omnath creates green, Marath creates green, and Avenger of Zendikar creates green tokens. So this guy can draw you a lot of cards. So later on you choose from like mid-late game. Craterhoof, I'm a token deck, I'm green, he's a finisher. Kiki Jiki, because I like to abuse any mechanic I can really. Hangerback, good thing, I can abuse the counter thing again. Marath about to die, or he's about to die, I can move counters onto him. Hardened Scales, so we're into enchantments now. Hardened Scales is a 1 mana doubling season in this deck, because with Marath, you choose how many counters to move at one time per instance. So you actually choose X as 1, because this triggers on each instant, not a total quantity. So you go, alright, I pay X as 1, move 1 counter from Marath onto this, but it actually gets 2. And you can actually remove counters from Marath, put them back onto herself, and then she gains an additional. So you can self-buff when you've got one of these out. Parallel Lives, I mentioned it earlier, doubling my tokens. Same with Doubling Season, but also doubles my counters, which there's quite a few counter shenanigans, even Planeswalkers in this deck. Cathar's Crusade used to be very underrated. Slowly gaining some price now, but whenever a creature enters battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. If Avenger of Zendikar hits the board with this, boom, +7 to everything, or something like that. Marath, pay 1, make a 1/1. Suddenly that 1/1 entering, put a 1/1 counter on everything. You can see the very abusive nature. My favourite card in this deck, fucking love it. Mana Echoes, 4 mana. Whenever a creature comes into play, I as the owner, add 1 mana to my pool for each creature I control that shares a type with it. So if the opponent plays a creature that shares the same type, I get the mana. How good is that? This card goes infinite in many ways in the deck, like Hardened Scales, Doubling Season, Cathar's Crusade. They allow me to go infinite, with Marath anyway. Because I make a 1/1 elemental from Marath, it checks all the elementals on board, I add so much mana to my pool, I can put counters back on Marath, and I just keep doing it. Infinite creatures, infinite mana, infinite damage. And this card is only like 20 bucks. The foil I think I've got is like 50. I reckon I'm going to do a card tech on this one card alone, I think. Cryptolithic Rite makes all your creatures Birds of Paradise. In this deck, it's like an investment. You pay 1, make a 1/1 weenie, but that 1/1 weenie can tap for any mana. Avenger of Zendikar is a big ramp spell, so this is very powerful. Aura Shards lets me really hate on any artifact or other enchantments going on. Pay 1, dude enters the battlefield, kill another target. Muruganda Petroglyphs. This is a high risk, high reward. If I'm not versing another token deck, I'm fine. If I am, better be careful. But it's good because it still lets all my creatures I need to die, but my tokens stay on the board pretty chunky. Warstorm Surge has won me a lot of games outright. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, deal damage equal to its power to any target. If you're producing multiple tokens because you're doubling enchantments, this gets out of hand very quick. Petroglyph stacks before the enter battlefield. It's a lot of damage very quickly. Primeval Bounty. It doesn't really combo with anything, but it's constantly doing things. You're always gaining 3 life, getting counters, or creating tokens passively. I don't use it actively, but it's pretty good in the deck. Rancor, because I need trample sometimes on my commander, and it's always there. Eldrazing Conscription. I can't tell you why I put it in my deck. I saw it when I was like learning to play Magic. I'm like, this card's dumb. It's so powerful. And Sylvan Library because it's card advantage. By the way, all the printings I'm showing, these are the actual copies I'm running in my deck. I tried to go full foil at one point, but then realized I don't want my whole deck to bend. So, yeah. Darksteel Mutation. You put it on their commander, you make them cry. Same with Thong of Dryads, but it gives you a bit more versatility. Now, instant and sorceries. Dromoka's command is pretty powerful. You can stop a big burn or a storm player. You can make someone sack an enchantment, but I mainly go 1/1 counter and fight. Pretty good in this deck. You always need swords and commander. You need exile removal. Boldly Tutor gets anything done in this deck, which this deck doesn't tutor as well. Boros Charm has won a lot of games. The indestructible part's quite nice. Kadam's Reach, Cultivate, need more ramp. Relevation, good draw spell, kind of like Regal Force. Another board wipe through the act, which all my tokens can really cut down that cost. Green Sun, again, it's a tutor spell. Another Wrath of the God. I love the old Quinton artwork, hence why I've got that one. Hull Breach is amazing. I love it. But not many people run it, and it's like under $1. It's a pretty good removal. See the Unwritten. So you get a free creature, but if you have a power 4 or greater on board, you get 2 free creatures. The number of games I've gone like Avacyn and Craterhoof or something really dumb. It's pretty powerful. Harmonize, gotta have it. Increasing Savagery. So my main 2 targets on my deck are Marath, or I just dump them back onto Gaia Sage. Then you flashback it, you tap Gaia Sage, you flashback it back onto her, and she can tap for like 15 plus green mana. You do that like turn 6 or something, you put the fear into people, because you can Emrakul, or, well not Emrakul, or the other Titans pretty quick. Now artifacts, Soaring, it's Commander. Thran Dynamo, Guild Lotus, I think they're pretty staple at this point, everyone runs them. Burnish Hearts, just Cultivate, but not a creature really. Marbuti, Skull Clamp, works very well with my Commander. Make a 1/1 token, eat the token through Skull Clamp, draw 2 cards, win-win. The wording has changed in Skull Clamp, so it does work. This is the old version. Collar. Giving your Commander Death Touch, if you're a pinger, is very good. Marath can just line people up, go 1 damage, bang, 1 damage, bang, end them. Create some pretty good Commander politics at the board. Slate Ancestry is a very powerful draw in this deck. I normally dump my hand out pretty quick, like early, mid-game I'm done. I get this, I just draw so many cards because of my board presence. Now, my Planeswalkers only run 3. Grok does everything I want. Ramps, makes a token or buff the board to win. Pretty powerful. Domri Raid, I love the potential draw for me. I love the fight, which is removal in my deck. And God forbid if I ever get the ultimate, I just win. Khan, I can't give you a reason why I put him in here. I probably could take him out and I wouldn't be hindered. I would actually cheapen my deck quite a bit. But he's just singular, such a powerful card. I probably should pull it out and put something a bit more synergistic in it. Now for the lands. I kept my land base pretty consistent and with what I had at the time. I've got cards which are clearly better upgrades, but then I'm getting a bit too tryhard. So I've got my 3 fetches, my 3 shocks, my 3 temples, and my 3 buddy lands. I've just kept it very consistent. I do have a plateau and a savannah in my deck, but that's only because I had them like halfway through collecting Magic. In my Horizon Canopy, I didn't pay the normal price for it. I got it for $2 at a flea market. So my land base is pretty cheap in terms of what I physically paid. And then for my utility lands, Rith and Rith Grove is the dragon layers. I don't think people realize that they exist. If you're in the right colors, there might be a layer for your 3 color. They're good. They're like your tri-lands. City of Brass, Command Tower, because any mana. Jungle Shrine, Temple of False Gods, some good ramp. Homeward Path should be in any creature-based commander deck at this point, I think, because blue and stealing. Casting Wolfrun to blow someone out if I have to, if I've produced infinite mana. Moss Warp Bridge in Windbrisk, a pretty good hideaway, and you can like hide away Cradle of Behemoth and win through that. And Contested Cliffs is a removal spell, because most of my deck is a beast type. Choose target beast you control to fight. So if I can fight through a land, it's pretty good. And the flavor of when you're playing Magic, you can send Thrag Tusk to fight Birds of Paradise. What, he gets in a catapult filling them up there? I'm not sure, but it's amazing. So that's my commander deck. She's not the most hardcore sweaty deck, because if you make your deck too hardcore, people aren't going to play with you. I used to have a lot worse cards in here, like a Living Plane, turn all lands into 1/1s, then you just play Elish Nor, your entire enemy's land base is gone. I used to do really dumb things like that, and no one wanted to play me anymore, so I was done with that. So I kind of toned it down. It's still very combo interactive-y, but somewhat fair. So yeah, that's my commander, Marath. I keep her in one of the ice cubes. I know people don't like him, but I figure if I ever have a bad game and I'm a sole loser, I can beat them to death of it. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed Marath. If you see anything better, or have any recommendations like for trade outs that could make my deck better, let me know. I really would love to see it. Alright guys, have a good one. Thanks for watching guys. Remember to like and sub, and have a good one.